that never stops, where information shapes our reality. One app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis, and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I am Ramesh Ramachandran. Right, going back to the top story, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. With me is my colleague Amritpal Singh, live from Israel. Amrit, good to have you join this broadcast. Let me begin by asking you to tell us about Biden's visit to Israel and Jordan. What would he be hoping to achieve by the end of his tour of West Asia?
I think President Biden's visit is essentially one to tell the Israelis that they stand with their military operations inside against the Hamas, but it is also to find a way that how humanitarian assistance can be given to the Palestinians, the civilians especially. How Israel, the regional players, including Israel, Egypt, Jordan, they could, work together to ensure that humanitarian aid goes into the Gaza Strip, because there is a very dire situation there. The UN Secretary General has used the words, it's on the verge of abyss, which is actually true. Medicines, essential supplies, water, etc. has run out. In fact, today the UK Prime Minister urged Israel to provide water, allow water to go into into Gaza. So I think the American president would be both in Amman and here in Tel Aviv, be pressing upon the regional leaders that they need to work together and ensure that even as Israel takes its military action against the Hamas fighters, it should look at minimizing civilian casualties, one, and secondly, urgently allow some kind of humanitarian assistance and aid to pass through into the Gaza Strip. Ramesh?
Amrit, the World Health Organization has called for urgent delivery of aid to Gaza. Now this, even as Blinken says the US and Israel have agreed to work on a Gaza aid plan. Meanwhile, Egypt accuses Israel of non-cooperation on the reopening of the Rafah crossing. What can you tell us about the humanitarian crisis inside Gaza as we speak?
Okay, I am on this side. Right now I'm standing on the Israel-Gaza border, but I'm standing on the Israeli side. I haven't been able to get inside the Gaza Strip because the Israeli army is conducting a military operation and they don't let you pass into Gaza, at least from the Israel-Gaza border right now. What I hear is that the situation there indeed is dire. The hospitals are overflowing with patients. They are out of medicines. They are out of essential medical supplies. The problem there is that the power shortages are there. So many places are in darkness. It's difficult for hospitals to, they're sustaining till so far, but it will become very difficult as hours pass by to, have electricity. Water is a huge problem. There is a huge threat of waterborne diseases spreading because now drinking water is almost at the verge of finishing and people have started drinking water from sources which are not clean. Once that happens, there could be a spread of waterborne diseases, and if that happens at a mass scale, apart from those dying in the shelling, there would be deaths due to waterborne diseases. So that will be a difficult situation. In fact, fact, the WHO says that there are people who are inside there, and the UN people, they themselves are overwhelmed. So clearly, the situation is bad. Right now, they do have some amount of food, but prices have started skyrocketing, and as happens in these kind of crisis situations, it's always clear that it's always, in such kind of situation when shortages happen, the people indulge in practices like hoarding, etc. So all that is happening right now. So it is actually a catastrophe that is unfolding there. Unless urgent aid is allowed inside the Gaza Strip, the problem could escalate further. Ramesh.
Indeed, and before we let you go, Amrit, you've spent the last few days traveling around Israel, in Sderot, in Ashkelon, in Tel Aviv, and other cities. Having seen what you have over the last several days, do you think the hopes of a ceasefire are still alive? I ask you this because the Israeli military has now indicated that its next offensive in Gaza may not be a ground invasion. What does Israel have in mind?
Well, I don't think ceasefire is in the offing. What would when they went into war, they had a clear objective. They wanted to, for public consumption, they say they want to decimate Hamas and completely wipe them off. But that could be more to do with domestic politics and a sentiment. Generally, when you have an attack of this intensity and the brutality, the way people were burned, stabbed, civilians, women raped, children slaughtered, people taken hostage, etc. And the way it was executed, 5,000 rockets fired into the Israeli territory. They came through via boats. They broke open the wall and the fence with bulldozers, came on motorbikes and jeeps, and came on paragliders and started shooting at people who were celebrating the festival of remember it was Shabbat. It's a holiday here. People were doing some sort of a community lunch and a community party where they were celebrating. So the way it was executed, it has shocked people here. So all that they will decimate could also be, because it's easier said than done.
Indeed.
But yes, what I think their objective, which they don't state, would be to cause considerable damage to Hamas so that they cannot affect the kind of attack that they were able to affect for a very long time to come. So I think that would be their strategy. They wouldn't cease fire till that objective is achieved. They would keep aerial bombarding them and firing artillery guns into the places where they believe they need to fire at. Basically, what they say is the Hamas terror basis. And also, I think they would give some window of respite for humanitarian aid to pass, for foreign nationals to come out.
Okay.
And that's at best they would do, at least for the moment.
All right, as they say, watch this space, and we'll keep coming back to you for more, Amrit, as we go along. But thank you for now. Appreciate it. That was Amritpal Singh reporting from the Israel-Gaza border. And staying on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, joining me is a very special guest, Mr. Skand R. Tayal, a former Indian ambassador to South Korea and Uzbekistan, joins us for more on this developing story. Ambassador, welcome. Now, in your estimation, would Biden's whistle